start this by asking each one of you to take few moments and think what have we done that we have completely forgotten how to live our life. Just take few moments and just think deeply that what are we doing or what have we done that we've forgotten the way this life should be lived. Just sit on this question. I will share with you some of the things that I can think and then see if there is some connection. First thing is that we tend to search negativity. Think about it. Today, 9 things happened, they were very good. 9 very good things happened in my life, but one wrong thing happened, and all day what sticks in my mind is that one thing that didn't go right. So mind likes to just cling to that negative thing and easily forget those 9 things that were so right. Isn't it true? And that one thought of that one negative thing that happened will take away all the enjoyment, all the fun, all the joy and the high energy that those 9 good things had created. It'll just take it away from you. And now you start depleting energy. 9 people told me today, "Oh, you look so beautiful, you look so awakened, you look so alive, you're so fresh." And one person told me, "Oh God, did you not sleep last night? Oh, you look a little tired, right?" So when I come back home, what is the first thing I think? Oh God, am I really not looking right? So those 9 people who mentioned I'm looking so good, their opinion is easily negated by one negative thought. So what am I saying? That the negativity weighs a lot more than positivity, and that's why we become victim of our own thoughts. Search negativity in everything is one of the many reasons why we've forgotten how to live life. Second thing is magnifying. And let me explain to you what that means. And we all understand by giving examples. So think of it that I come back home from work with the bad news that I've lost my job. So I've lost my job today. I come back home and now my mind likes to go either in the past or in the future. It never stays in this present moment. So what will mind do? Mind will hypothetically create a situation where I've lost my job. Now I'm the single breadwinner. Now I will not be able to pay the rent, and then I'm going to be kicked out of the home. My whole family will be homeless. I will have no money coming in, so we will be starving. And then that moment, now only one thing has happened, that I've lost my job, but my mind has magnified it. You know how you take the magnifying glass and you just, everything looks bigger. This is how our mind does. It will become a magnifying glass and it will magnify, and that problem becomes as high as a mountain. And all of a sudden now I'm becoming so weaker and I look at that huge problem and I start falling apart. How am I going to fix it? Not realizing between now until that happens, I have so much opportunity to find another job and everything will be fine. It can very well happen that I am experienced, I have this many years of knowledge, wisdom, I believe in myself, and finding a job is not a problem. And next thing you know, you have attracted a new job. So magnifying, mind does it very beautifully. It plays that role. It magnifies every little problem. And at the end of the day, what do? We look at all these problems that haven't happened yet, but it's a hypothetical thing that I created. Out of one situation, I created so many more problems. They don't exist, but mind likes to go in the future and predict. It's always anxious about the future and it's angry about the past, and it takes away the joy of this present moment. Isn't it? Does that happen to you sometimes? Yeah? Okay. Then what else? Another thing that we have to be very watchful of is let go. Our mind likes to hold on to things that we shouldn't be keeping in our mind, and it does not like to keep all the good things, good thoughts that should stay there. So the delete button it doesn't allow the delete button to be pressed, and things that we really should be focusing on, things that we really should be thinking, elevated thoughts, positivity, strength, all these things, it doesn't focus. So spirituality and yogic science teaches us, just forget about what has been done. Doesn't matter. But focus 100% from this moment, where am I going? Where do I have to go? And start that journey from this very moment without letting thoughts from the past come to play. So, drop the bad, add the good. Drop the bad, add the good. And time comes when it's only good, good, good. Because, when we do that, a new habit is formed. Where I'm training my mind to only keep the good, drop the bad. Time comes where you don't need to train the mind, it just automatically happens. Then another thing that comes to my mind is the bee mentality. You know how bee only sits on garbage? In our mind, if it's not cleansed, it only likes to sit on all those thoughts that are filled with pain, that are filled with sufferings, that are filled with sadness, worry, fear, negativity, and others. Always like to continuously think about others. Other than myself, I think about everybody. So then what happens? Sometimes I say, I'm a very happy person, but she brings out the worst in me. Whenever I see her, and I don't mean you, but I'm just giving an example. You are a very smiling person. But what I'm saying is that every time I see her, she brings the worst out of me, and now I can't smile. So what am I doing? I'm expecting that she changes and she stops doing that then only I will be happy. Which means I'm actually begging you the person who I don't like, I'm begging from that person for happiness. Isn't it? And yogic science, all it does is it switches the focus from her to me, that don't be a beggar for happiness. Happiness is your Atman's original quality. Look within. Take charge of your life. So, bee mentality. very important that we train this mind, we cleanse this mind every day so that it continuously thinks of that. And another thing I can think of is labeling people. Many times, we look at person and we label it. Good, bad, very bad, very, very, very bad. Isn't it? We categorize everybody. Very good, good, very, 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 very good, very, 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 very bad. And this one I cannot even stand. So we have those categories. Now when you come across those people, instantly that thought comes to your mind. Very good, good, very, very, very bad. So don't smile, don't talk, right? Instantly mind is programmed. Now we don't think that, let me tell you, every soul is changing every minute. Every soul is changing. Some souls are changing with a higher speed, some souls are changing with a lower speed, and some are changing with very, very low speed, but every soul is moving. But the picture that we have in our mind of someone, that is from the past. Even from yesterday, the person is not the same. So when we start thinking positive and we say, I am a pure soul, and she is a pure soul, and she is a pure soul, and she is also a divine soul, and he is also a divine soul, then what am I thinking? Instantly I am feeling so happy and I am so light. I no longer have to do that programming that who can make me smile and who can put sadness on me, my face. So these are the things that we need to be aware of. And how do we change? Doesn't it happen in our life? So how do we change this mentality? How do we start thinking the way we should think so that we start living life beautifully? And this is where I will share with you that every day, after 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, just look back and think of all the incidents, things that have happened in your life, and then think, how did I react to those things? Did I react positively? What kind of thoughts these incidents created in my mind? And what should have been the right thought? And then correct it. Then move on, next 3 hours. Then go back again. Maybe you can keep a little notebook, journal with you. Jot down, last 3 hours, I did these right things, but this, I don't think I did it right. So correct it and then move on. So you will see, after you do this practice 7 days, 8th day, your mind has created a new sanskara, new impression. And now you no longer have to correct it. Automatically your mind will start to manufacture right thoughts about everybody. Because let me tell you one thing, situations don't cause pain because situations don't carry any life. Situations are lifeless. What gives life to the situation is our thought that is manufactured at that time in our mind. So situations are constantly coming, but what's giving me pain is one thought that will make that situation very bad, or one thought that will make that situation an opportunity to come out very strong, isn't it? We are on vacation, we are having so much fun, all of a sudden one thought comes, oh, I think I spent too much money on my airfare. Oof. Because I'm talking to my friend and she spent $100 less. Instantly my joy is gone, isn't it? One thought, it will kill my joy. We are going on a family vacation, driving our car with our family, everybody is so happy, we stop, we eat well, we keep going till we see some other car that is much bigger and much nicer than ours. One thought comes, oh, I wish I had this car. And all my joy, the blissfulness that I'm having in the company of my loved ones is instantly gone. So in the end, what makes me or breaks me is my thoughts. And when we do yogic practices, when we do meditation, when we do pranayama techniques, first thing that happens is we learn how to think properly. Our thoughts become very positive. Our thoughts become very, very strong, and they slow down. You know how we can change the direction of water in any way we want. If I have this and I want to throw this water, I can switch the direction anywhere I want, right? Anywhere I can just take it and channel it. Exactly the same way with the waters of yoga, with the waters of meditation, with the waters of pranayama, we can actually channel all our thoughts in any direction we want to. So when we sit in meditation in the morning, early hours of Malhotra, when we sit and do our breathing exercises, what are we doing? We are actually forcefully channeling all of our thoughts in the right direction, so that we can keep moving upwards, so that all our entire day it goes very, very well, that nobody can change us or shake us or move us or pain us. It's very powerful. This practice that we do here, combination of breathing, yoga, meditation, it's very powerful, because forcibly we are directing our mind towards elevated thoughts. Now, what causes negative or elevated thoughts? What's the foundation? What are the things that give energy to these toxic thoughts or elevated thoughts? Anybody? Two things. One is that the raw material that gives energy to these thoughts is, who are we spending most of our time, what kind of company we keep. When we get up, what do we do first? Do we listen to the news, turn on the TV and listen to all the sufferings and pains of the world, or do we turn the inner channel on and just sit and connect through that channel with our Atman and do little breathing, maybe have little higher knowledge, and then do little meditation and do some yogasana and then start our day? When we start out our day right by channeling with the inner connection to our spirit, then all day we are flooded with only and only positive thoughts. We are so happy that even when sad things start to happen, it doesn't affect us. So that's one thing. How do we start our day, and who do we associate ourselves? Are we spending most of our time with negative people? Then we need to do something about it. But we need to stay protected. Isn't it that a thought came to my mind, like when we are driving on the road, if you're driving on the road and someone is coming from the opposite direction and is about to hit us, what do? We protect ourselves, right? We go this way or we go this way or we go this way, but first thing that comes to our mind is, we must protect ourselves, right? Do we go head on at that time? Same thing here. That whenever we come across anybody, any situation, any person who's angry at us, who's saying maybe some not so pleasant words, that is not the time to just go head on and, tit for tat. No, that's the time. First thing should come to your mind, same, protect yourself. That is not the time to educate the other person. That is not the time to be revengeful. That is the time to first protect your peace, protect yourself, and when the right time comes, maybe you can guide that person or advise it. But at that time, you will do the same thing, that if a car is driving, coming from the opposite direction and is about to hit you, that's when you will not first get hurt and then get angry. You will first protect yourself. So we have to do the same thing. Always watch. There are so many cars. Means so many people are driving their cars of mind in so many different directions, right? What do I need to do? Am I going to fight with everyone? Am I going to get into an argument or justify with everyone, or am I going to continue to protect myself? So there's a car coming from here and car coming from here. Means different situations, different people all are driving, and my vehicle is also going. So I need to do two things. One is I need to continue to drive and protect myself, be very careful. And two is not worried about them, but keep protecting myself. Do not focus and do not argue and do not be angry and reactive, because that's called world. Not everybody is the same, and we cannot change anyone. We don't have the power to change anyone, but we have the power to change ourselves. So first thing is raw information, which is who are we associated with and how do we start out our day. Second thing is our belief systems. You know how we have so many myths. We have programmed so many wrong belief systems in our mind. For example, stress is natural, isn't it? We've heard positive stress and negative stress. Stress is stress, whether it's positive stress or negative stress, right? Stress is natural. Being angry is natural. It's like if I'm at work and I'm the boss, and if I don't get angry, then people will not do their work. Isn't that a myth? That if you go to work and you don't speak in loud noise, then people will not listen, your employees will not listen, and they will not do. So what happens? Employees will listen out of fear once, twice, and now third times they will say, oh, she's just gonna say, oh, there she goes, she started. And slowly they will get immune to what you're saying. But for you, it's a bigger loss. You are creating a habit. Now when you come home, you're going to be angry. Your tone is going to start with the same attitude as it was at work. Now you will start doing the same thing at home. With friends also, slowly, now this becomes your habit, where you are replicating that. Wherever you go, now it has become your habit. You're not just doing it at work, but you're doing it at home, you're doing it in social circle, with your friends, with your daughters. So it becomes your habit. Now it becomes very difficult to stay happy because you're angry all the times. So these two belief systems, don't have wrong belief systems. Just because my mom used to be so angry, so it's genetics. I'm full of anger. No. Everything that you want to do, God has given you the free will to take charge of your responsibility. And I always say that self-responsibility is the biggest responsibility in life. Because if we don't change on the level of thought, then we will fail on every level of jobs, level of relationships, level of earning health, wealth, happiness, completely out of focus. So first, yoga and yogic science teaches us, take charge of your own life and create three things: health, wealth, happiness. And when yoga says health doesn't mean physical body. First thing yoga refers to health is what?
Mental thinking.
Mind, yes. Healthy mind creates healthy body. So when we do yogic practice, first thing is we cleanse our mind. We make mind so healthy. Our emotional health, our intellectual powers, our spiritual delights, they continue to increase. Then wealth. And by wealth, we don't mean materialistic wealth. By wealth, we mean this knowledge that I'm sharing with you. Continue to store more and more higher knowledge. And third thing is happiness. And happiness is not just smiling superficially. Happiness is having unconditional happiness, regardless whether I have this or not, regardless whether I have world or I don't have world, I am determined to stay happy every moment. Inner joy. Unconditional happiness. Whether I have the world or not, but I'm going to always stay happy. It's very important. So, when we do yogic practices, last thing, in conclusion, I will say that our inner strength, our inner purity increases to such point where outer does not affect us. Think about it. We're going anywhere and we're sitting in a traffic jam, and what happens? Instantly, inside of us is so much in pain. Why me? It always happens to me, isn't it? Always mentality. Why this always happens to me? I have to be there. So instantly you start creating so many negative thoughts. Why? Because the outer is affecting the inner. So when we do yogic practices, our inner becomes so strong where actually outer doesn't affect us, but at the same time our inner positivity, our inner creativity, our inner strength, our inner purity, our inner divinity starts to impact the outer wherever you are. Actually your inner creates a positive impact there. Your presence, your aura, your energy makes that place so vibrant that you start to enjoy wherever you are. No one can separate that from you. So you and positivity is one. You and purity are one. You and divinity are one. You and strength are one. Nobody can separate that from you no matter where you go. And it happens instantly. You do and achieve. You do and achieve. That's why at the end of the session, we all are smiling, isn't it? We all feel so light. We all are smiling. Why? Because our negative part is negated. It starts to exit from the body. And our sattva, satogun, that starts to take over, where strength overpowers the weakness, light overpowers the darkness, and we start to transform. So with these words of wisdom, let's go ahead and stand up and we will do our yogic stretches.